Hi there, and welcome back to the Summer Stir and Spur video series, where I hope to inspire other homemakers and mamas and wives to create a clean and loving environment for their families this summer while connecting to God. Hi, I'm Morgan Lane, and today we are going to do what is called a power hour. I decided to put on my sneakers and pull up a ponytail because this was post 4th of July here in America, and hence the festive dress. So I started my power hour at 11:11, and so I am going to clean and do as many chores as I can until 12:11 and see what I can get tackled. As I start speed tackling as many chores as I can in my master bedroom, I would encourage you to get up and set a timer and start this first 12 minutes watching me of your own power hour in your home, and it can make such a difference. I'm always so surprised that some of these things that I dilly-dally over all day long could really just take an hour when I set my mind to it and I set that timer. I started by making the bed and folding all the blankets, so I had a clean slate to dump all the laundry and fold all the patriotic clothes that we had worn in the past 2 days. I had an incredible time with my family, and it was so good. We made delicious food and cake and went swimming and got to see fireworks out on the boat on the ocean. But today was the 6th, so we had returned from spending the night with the kids Nana and Gub for the holiday, and this was me trying to catch up in 1 hour, which it really worked to set my mind to it and get a lot done. The verse and patriotic painting that I will be sharing at the end of this video is from John 8, verse 36. So if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed, and we were going all off the idea of freedom, not just for Americans in our country, but the ultimate freedom that Jesus Christ has given us for dying on the cross. I have found that in these power hours, I am more effective and I make more efficient decisions. I decided not to fold all of the rags for my kitchen, and I just took them downstairs and shoved them in the drawer because when time is of the essence, you prioritize. The kids were going to use all these and everything, so I just shoved them in there. And it's actually a great way to know what's important to get your house straightened and tidied, and to figure out what's not so important because you just need to get everything else done in the matter of time. Like the kids can fold their own laundry, so I took their laundry and threw it in their closet to do themselves. And even my clothes, it was mostly workout clothes and pajamas, so I just set them in the drawers without even folding them. That is also sort of the beauty of being slightly minimal. You'll be like, Morgan, you're crazy for not folding that or taking the time to do that. But in the end, I will show you a clip of like my sock drawer and my pajama drawer. Over time, just having the certain amount of things that I need, I can throw them in there because there's not too much inventory. It's just what I need. I can only wear one pair of socks at a time or one pair of pajamas at a time. So I found minimizing the amount of things makes it a lot easier to put away and to move on. As I put away my husband's clothes and tidy up the master bathroom, the woman that I wanted to share with you today that is an American patriotic woman in history who loved God and served him, her name was Clara Barton. And one of my daughter's name is actually Clara, so I love this. Clara Barton dedicated her life to the service of others, exhibiting a strong sense of patriotism and a deep religious faith. Clara was born in 1821 in Massachusetts. She was raised in a devoutly religious household and developed a strong belief in God from an early age. Her faith became her guiding principle throughout her life, influencing her actions and her worldviews. During the American Civil War, Clara played a crucial role in nursing wounded soldiers, known as Angels of the Battlefield. She provided care and support to countless soldiers on both sides of the conflict. Her selfless dedication and compassion for others reflected her deep love for God and her commitment to serving Him through aiding those in need. In 1881, Clara founded the American Red Cross, a humanitarian organization that provided assistance during times of crisis and natural disaster. It's been instrumental in aiding people in need, both in the U.S. and around the world. Clara's Christian faith was the driving force behind the establishment of the Red Cross, as she believed in the importance of helping others and showing compassion just as Jesus did. This summer, we may not be nursing the wounded on the battlefield, but it may seem like it sometimes with boo-boos and scraped knees and little kids. But I love the heart of service that she had in doing it for the Lord. And that is my hope and prayer as you watch this little power hour as well, is that you would feel motivated and encouraged to keep serving and to keep loving your family through these hot days of summer. We actually had a heat advisory warning notification every morning for the past 4 days. It has been so hot and so humid. I was tidying up my daughter's room, which they keep switching it around. Now there's only one girl in this massive room, and the other one rotated her bed downstairs. Summer, I cannot keep up. They all want to sleep over in each other's rooms and rotate their beds. So this room was very easy to pick up because there was barely anything in it. Only the 4-year-old has been living in here. All the cups that need to go downstairs. So I finally finished cleaning the upstairs and everything was tidy. And I was going to grab my endless amount of cups that everybody drinks out of at night and take them back downstairs to start the dishes, which I spent way too much time upstairs on my power hour and I was running short, so I really was rushing to get the kitchen and the rest of the main floor of the house done in time. So for those who have followed along with the last Summer Stir and Spur, you can go back and click on the first 2 of these little series, and maybe that'll help you finish out your power hour if you listen to those ones next. But I had talked about how my husband and I and our dear friends had bought a laundromat at the beginning of summer, and here in Florida it had no AC, and that was the main point, was we have to get this place cleaned, painted, and AC. So actually, while I was filming this little video, my husband was up there working, and hooray, it officially has air conditioning for the first time ever for our clients and all the people that go to do their wash. So that is very exciting because it is very hot here. So those who have followed along with that on Instagram will rejoice with me, because that is a monumental moment for a Florida laundromat. As I unload the cups from the dishwasher, this is your Morgan reminder to hydrate if you are busy and it is summer and it is hot, or if you're on the other side of the world somewhere and it's actually cold. But it's your reminder to hydrate because your body needs it. And also try to have a little bit of a smile as you do your dishes, knowing that it's a humble act to serve and a small gesture for our families and our kids, and we can touch the hearts of those we love and pray and have peace and talk to God as we scrub for them, and that our scrubbing can be an offering of love and gratitude and devotion for them, even if it seems very mundane and very rhythmic and we do the dishes multiple times a day. But this is your reminder to pray for your loved ones and hydrate while you do your dishes. I was in my power hour, and as I was draining the sink out, I realized my time was running very short, so I was not going to have time to mop and vacuum the entire house, so I decided to quickly dry mop all the crumbs up and then dump some mop solution on a rag and wipe all those hidden pesky crumbs out of the corner underneath the cupboards, because kids always spill flour and everything underneath there. So then at least it looked a little fresh and smelled a little fresh, but I did not have time to do the whole shebang. But this was a speed clean, so it actually helped just a little bit to make it more fresh. And we finished the kitchen. I moved on to the kitchen shelves and the kitchen table, and I started by taking down all of the patriotic art that my daughters had colored the morning of the 4th. And I put it in the little rack, and then we either shred it and use it for our guinea pig's cage as bedding, where they color on the back or make paper airplanes out of it. So that's what we use the file folder for. And fireworks, we had extras. So hopefully we'll get to do those with our friends a day or 2 after the 4th, which will be okay. Then I quickly tidied the family room as fast as I could because my watch was about to go off, and the dog was just hanging out as usual, staring at me, thinking that I am crazy. And the last thing that I wanted to do after tidying up the family room was wipe the windows. I felt like I had just enough time to sneak that in because there was a lot of water and chalk and handprints on it, and that just always makes the whole entire cleaning process feel fresh and look fresh, because I can do all this cleaning and then look out the window and it's covered with smudges. Okay, so now I'm laughing because I thought that cleaning the windows was the last task that I had done, but then I just fast forwarded while I'm voicing over and I realized that I had enough time on my watch before I reached 12:11 to vacuum the rug. So that is what I did. You have to use every little moment in that power hour to get things accomplished, and I felt like it would make the room smell good to sprinkle it and to get all the dog hair up. So that was the last task that I actually did. And then my little one came over and I gave her a kiss. I was going to reward myself after my hour by eating some of the delicious cake covered in cream cheese. And so we got to the end. It was 12:11. We got a lot done. I hope you got a lot. You got a lot done too. And I was going to get my piece of cake. But as I get my piece of cake, and then I flip to John chapter 8, I wanted to share with you my soap that I did. And I shared in another video that soap is just, you take a scripture for S, and then O is you observe the scripture. A is you apply the scripture to your life, and then P is you say a prayer about that scripture. So I did not have time to Bible art journal around this 4th of July here, so I flipped to one in the past where I painted and drew the word freedom, and then I just did my soap for the day, and off this section of scripture in John chapter 8, I kind of just dissected it and asked the Lord what he had in store to teach me through it. So I will share with you what I wrote. For the S for the scripture, I chose John 8:34 through 36. Jesus answered them, "Truly, truly, I say to you, everyone who practices sin is a slave to sin. The slave does not remain in the house forever. The Son remains forever. So if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed." And so from that, I observed, I did the little circle of the O, and I wrote, these words are spoken by Jesus, sin, and then I drew an arrow and it equals being a slave. And then it reminded me of Psalm 23, which I had been reading the other morning, and how it was talking about you dwelling in the house of the Lord forever. And this verse also said that the Son remains forever. And then I wrote Jesus equals freedom, and that the truth will set you free. So that is my prayer, and then I applied it to my life, and then my prayer was that thanking him for the ultimate sacrifice and freedom of the cross, and that he's holy and worthy and truly the amazing part of being free and saved and loved. And so I pray that you feel a little bit of freedom and a little bit of peace and a little bit of calm with your clean house today. Thanks for joining me, friends.